Woo-hoo! Lovely, 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 lovely. An amazing performance there. I have to say, that's such a really smooth, calm song, right? I think it's the best song to actually take us into our book chat segment because we have to breathe in this one and calm down. On book chat today, we are reviewing a very special piece. Sholakwe Aziza is here. She is an autism specialist, and we have her book, My Friend Has Autism. Now, this is a story about understanding and acceptance. That's what I see on the cover of the book here. And it's dedicated to children. Welcome back to the studio, Sholakwe.
Thank you very much, Titi.
All right. Now, we've had quite a few conversations on autism before. But first of all, let me just say congratulations on the release of this book.
Thank you very much.
My first question is, why did you feel this needed to be put together right now?
Okay, so the first one I'm going to do is it's Azazi.
Azazi.
Yes, so it's Sholakwe Azazi.
Azazi, okay.
Yes, okay. And then you said, why did I feel like I had to put up this book now? So I think earlier this year, the CDC, which is usually our draw from when we try to look for statistics on autism, when we started, myself and my son came into the journey of autism, it was 1 in 68. When earlier this year, it became 1 in 36. So if the statistics is going higher, you have higher numbers, then that means that, you know, there's something going on. We don't have enough schools, special schools, to accommodate children on the spectrum, and not all of them will be in special schools. So they are already in mainstream schools. We do teach our children with autism how to become friends and all of that, but then how much sensitization are we giving to the other children, the neurotypical children, to be able to accommodate our own kids on the spectrum? So for me, that just made me feel like we need to start to talk to these children on how to be more accepting of the difference and how to be more understanding and form lasting friendship with our kids.
So now I can see from the first page here where you have a Dear Reader message. You say here that the book has been written to help children build understanding and then value individual differences.
Yes.
There are a lot of children that have been identified as special or different in a classroom, and that's not always been considered a good thing, to be, in quotes, special in a class, to receive special treatment, to be set aside, to be allowed to do things that other children are not allowed to do. But you put the main plot of this book inside the classroom.
Yes.
Why in the classroom?
So, first and foremost, autism is a social communication interaction. So the characteristics you see is in social communication and interaction. You see it in repetitive behavior and restrictive behavior. So that means that they are in the classroom setting, because most times you see a child between 5 and 10. Where do you find them mostly? In school,
in the classroom.
in school environment, in classrooms. So that is where they're going to be interacting. And if they have they struggle with social communication or social interaction, and within a classroom, guess what? They will be singled out as different. So it's already there, tagged different. And so we're now trying to help other kids within that space, within that community, to understand that I'm different, but it's not because I want special treatment. It's just the way I am. How can you value my difference? How can you incorporate my difference into your own everyday activity? How can we form lasting friendship? It starts by first understanding who I am, understanding what my needs are, understanding what my strengths are, and then we can then now communicate on.
So now you put this together for kids. I'm wondering how many other books are there in Nigeria on autism for children or generally?
I do know that we have a lot of books for autism in Nigeria, but most times it's targeted at the adult audience or the older audience. But I find very rarely that we have books that are targeted for the children, And most times when you see it, it's probably just explaining what autism is. But this book is not just coming out at you and then just saying, this is autism, this is this is that. It's a storybook first.
Okay.
And so you see that there's a plot that takes you from a story angle to understand, and then it now introduces you to what autism is.
I actually have to open up the back of the book now to give a little. So you do have a paragraph here that does explain what it is. What is autism? A lifelong spectrum condition which affects people, how people see, how they hear, how they feel, and experience the world. And it can be accompanied by sensory sensitivity and challenges with paying attention. So I want to stop there at that word, or that term, paying attention, because a lot of young children in classrooms have been accused of, well, I'm using the term accused now, are often yelled at by teachers for not paying attention, for being distracted, and maybe never being diagnosed. You gave us some stats just now. You said 1 in 36. That means if you have a set of 50 children, it's very likely that there's 1 or 2 in that set of 50 kids that is probably on the spectrum.
Yeah.
In a classroom.
Yeah.
So how do we begin to deal with that? So paying attention for teachers especially. How do we, I don't even know where to begin.
So that's another reason why I wrote this book, because even as a teacher, you can pick up this book and you can start to understand what you're dealing with, because although it's for children, it has a lot of, facts and figures that you as an adult can relate to and understand, and awaken your own quest for more knowledge. Now, how do we start to deal with issues like, okay, you have differences in your classroom and all of that? You start by first understanding each child. Each child is different. Each child is unique. How I learn is different from how another child learns. So the first thing as a teacher, as a good teacher whose intention is to impact knowledge, you first have to know, who are my students? How do they learn? What makes this person unique? What makes this person, different? And then when you do that, it helps you to plan your lesson, because some children learn with visuals, some children learn auditory, some children are kinetic learners. So if you incorporate all of this into your classroom teaching, then you won't have the issues of this child is not just listening or is not attending. Some children, in the space of 5 minutes, they can grasp what this class is about. And so for children like that, you know that you have a 5-minute window to, go in and out. For some other children, you know that they have to feel it, they have to touch it. Your classroom will include things like that for those children to be able to feel, touch, and understand what concept you're passing on. Because I'm going to touch on age group now. Age group you're targeting with this, from how early and till how old do you think should? So this book is from written from 5 to 10. However, I made it in such a way that the pictures can explain can explain what the story is about, because some children are very good readers. Some are not so good readers, but they can tell from the plot of the picture. And then we use words that are very relatable to children. And then there's a glossary page at the back that can explain all the big terms that they encounter in the book. I think the only thing I can say now is that, Sholakwe, you finished work on this piece. And I know why it took quite a while for it to come out, because there was so much research involved. Thank you so much. Are the books readily available at book? Absolutely, yes. They are available at bookstores all over, yes. Online? Online too, yes. All right then. Sholakwe, thank you so much for joining us once again. She is the founder of Cradle Lounge Special Needs Initiative, by the way. She has quite a lot that she's doing around this particular area, and we appreciate her every single time she comes to talk about it. Congratulations on the book. Thank you very much. All right, then. I have to take a quick break now, but we would love to hear what you have to say about today's book on Book Chat. Use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Let us know.